Coming up on At Home in China, we're taking you inside our local grocery store. From chatting with some of our favorite staff members to exploring the beautiful fresh fruit and vegetables, you won't believe the colors and variety here. We'll wander through the fresh seafood section, brace yourself, and of course we're settling the ultimate debate. Is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable?
I thought it was like tomato, like whatever you want it to be.
Whatever you want it to be.
We'll also be showing you everything we picked up along with the prices so that you can see what everyday grocery shopping really looks like in China. Hey guys, welcome back to At Home in China. I just wanted to say a very big thank you for all the subscribers. We are nearly on 1,000 subscribers, so don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Today I'm taking you to our local supermarket and we're going to go and check out all the amazing produce that they have. Come along. This is our closest grocery store to home, and honestly we love it and actually feel like it's the best one in our area. It's tucked inside the mall, which only opens at around 10 a.m. But the best part is you can access the grocery store from a separate entrance at 8 a.m. They restock daily and it's always so lovely and quiet in the mornings, so I usually come on a Monday morning to do our shopping.
It's very common in Chinese supermarkets to have a homeware section. When Josh and I first moved to China, we didn't really know where we should be looking for just the common everyday household items. So we actually got recommended just to go to your local supermarket. You'll find your basics, and then when you want to start adding to your kitchen supplies and everything, you can buy off Taobao, and there's a lot more apps that you can use. But if you have a look here, you've got everything from woks to stainless steel pans to rice cookers to even blenders and kettles. And then you've also got cutlery, bowls, beautiful tea jugs, the works. It's really amazing. So we don't need anything in this section today, so let's keep going. In this section of the store, you'll find cleaning products and equipment, general kitchen utensils, and even things like towels, pajamas, slip-on shoes, underwear, and socks. One thing I've really noticed is how neat and well laid out everything is. The signs make it super easy to navigate, and it's not just necessarily groceries in our store. You'll also find kids' toys and even some sports gear like ping pong bats and balls and badminton rackets. Tea is a huge part of everyday life here in China. It's woven into daily life in such a special way. There are entire shops dedicated to just tea with the most incredible selections, but even in our local supermarket there's an aisle and even a little cart where you can scoop up your own. We're slowly learning more about it all, but the ones we tend to reach for are green tea, chrysanthemum tea, red tea and jasmine tea. So this section was actually one of my mom's favorite section when she came to visit us. It's all the candied fruit. So you've got oranges, kumquats. There's some of these that I don't even know what they are. But you can basically just take a scoopful and then take it to the weighing section and they'll weigh it. It's really amazing. You'll find all sorts of nuts, sweets and snacks here, some pre-packed or you can scoop and buy by weight. Personal go-to is the candied ginger, kumquats and pineapple, and lately I've also been loving roasted seasoned broad beans. After that we headed to the sauce aisle to restock a few sauces and vinegars, and this is usually when the phones come out to help translate everything.
One trick that we found really handy is when, especially with sauces like soy sauce or Shaoxing wine, which is like the cooking wine, if you look here, there's so many different varieties and it's all obviously in Chinese with characters, so it's very difficult to know exactly which one is which. So what we often do is we use AI and we'll take a picture of all of them, and then you can ask AI and say, what is the difference between these products? And then you can just ask AI, it will scan the image and often very quickly come up with a really nice breakdown of which one is which.
You can see there are hundreds of options when it comes to soy sauce, cooking wine, vinegars. The options are honestly endless, so it can be quite overwhelming.
Yeah, especially if you're like us who enjoys cooking so much, you want to make sure that you can make the right dishes and that you have the right product when you use it, because you definitely don't want to use a vinegar instead of a soy sauce for one of the dishes just because you're not too sure what you actually have. But yeah, that is a very useful trick.
Once you come out of the soy sauce section and everything, you make your way to the grain and oil section. So have a look here. There are tons of pre-made noodles, and then you can also buy freshly handmade noodles in the fresh section. But you can also, if you're really missing a little bit of Western food, you can get a little selection of pasta, but we tend to stay away from that. We love our noodles. So the fruit section is amazing. You've got so many varieties of, funny enough, tomatoes in the fruit section. This is a bit of a debate. You can say if it's a fruit or a vegetable. I'm gonna go with a vegetable. What? Your face is...
It's a fruit.
Is it a fruit?
Yeah. Like it's... No. Amanda. Gee whiz. No, I said it's a fruit. You saying it's a vegetable.
I think you got a comment. He's whipping out his phone to go and have a look. Okay, let's see. Let's ask AI. Oh, this is so funny.
Is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable?
What does it say? A fruit.
In short, it's a fruit.
It's a fruit.
It's a fruit.
No, I did not know that. I always just thought it was like tomato, like whatever you want it to be.
Whatever you want it to be.
So, okay, it's a fruit. Makes sense why it's in the fruit section. But come over here. I mean, have a look at the size of this pear. It's huge, just like the same size as my face. It's amazing. And then you've got tons of different varieties of apples as well that are also massive.
As you can see, the fruit section is really expansive, from apples, kiwis, melons, lychees, mangoes, bananas, and to my personal favorite, dragon fruit.
And then have a look at these beautiful dragon fruit.
What is dragon fruit in Chinese, man?
Huolongguo. I hope that's right. Huolongguo, which translates to fire dragon fruit.
They even have a whole durian section, which is always busy.
Damn. Now we're in the main section.
This is amazing. Look at the size of some of them.
You get given gloves so you can pick out the one you want, and then they'll cut and prepare it for you.
Whole durian cutting station. I actually tried durian for the first time only 2 weeks ago, and it was delicious. It's like custard.
The final part of the fruit section is the pre-cut fruit area, where you can quickly grab ready prepared packs of pretty much any fruit we've just looked at.
Hotpot is a very popular dish here, and what I love is they've made it super convenient for you to then recreate it at home. So you can buy the already made sachets, but also like little cubes that then you would mix with your own broth and hot water at home. And then Haidilao is one of the very popular hot pot chains here in China, and they do pre-made sauces and sesame paste.
Josh and I absolutely love hot pot, but it can get quite expensive, so we're thinking about getting a hot pot set up for home. You then move into the section that has oils, spices and grains. There's such a wide variety of different spices here, as well as dehydrated mushrooms, including things like lion's mane.
This section is so beautiful and always so neatly organized. You get lots of different spices, Sichuan peppercorns, dried chilies, lotus seed pods, already pre-packed. So I mean, look at this. This is a giant packet of dried chilies for 5 RMB, which is crazy. Like I said earlier, you had all the dry noodle sections. You've even got your plant-based noodle section. So these are made from different like yams. For example, here's corn noodles.
You then got beans and grains with a large variety to choose from.
So you grab a plastic bag and then you just scoop in. So you've got different millets, rice, even produce I haven't even seen before or cooked with. Something I've learned in China, when you are weighing produce like this, it's per half kg, so it's 500 grams, not per kg. And most of the staples are so well priced. So I mean, take a look at this rice. It's 3 RMB 39 cents for half a kg. I mean, that's crazy.
We then stocked up on some of our usual protein staples from tofu, eggs, chicken, pork, and dumplings, which absolutely count as protein in our house. The egg section is honestly fascinating because there are so many options. You'll find quail eggs, duck eggs, chicken eggs, pickled eggs, soy sauce braised eggs, and plenty of free-range options too. There's such a variety, and despite the different price points, everything still feels really affordable.
30 eggs or 29 or 30 RMB, which is not bad. I mean, that's really, really cheap compared to so many places. But there's even cheaper options. I mean, this is also 30 eggs for 19 RMB or 30 eggs for 16 RMB.
Alright, let's head to the section that always gets the most attention in social media, the live seafood area. The idea is all about freshness, so you choose what you want while it's still live and the staff will prepare it for you there and then.
So Josh and I don't necessarily live in a coastal city. We live very close to Qingdao, which does mean that we have an incredible variety of seafood from frozen to fresh. I have a little bit of a mixed feeling about this situation behind me, but it does mean that your seafood is really, really fresh. So yeah, let's go and have a look at what they have over here. So you've got over here, like, I don't even know what kind of crab this is, but it's ginormous. You've got sea cucumbers, different kind of langoustines and crayfish and shellfish, and then obviously different types of fish over here. And then on this side you've got prawns, little like scampies, and then your mollusks and clams. Like, I mean, this is incredible. Oh, it just squirted at me. So, I mean, look at the size of that mussel over there. It's almost the size of my hand. And giant oysters. Beautiful and fresh.
Moving into the meat section, pork and chicken are definitely the most popular proteins here, so there's always a massive selection. Beef, on the other hand, is a bit harder to come by and usually much more expensive. There are fresh beef options available, but most of the beef we see tends to be in the frozen section, and quite a lot of it is imported from places like New Zealand.
140 RMB for what I think is half a kg, which is quite expensive. You know, I mean, I don't know, compared to South Africa, that is really expensive.
On the other hand, vegetables are incredibly affordable here. The variety is amazing and everything always feels so fresh and seasonal. For example, I can grab about 4 to 5 bunches of bok choy for only around 3 RMB, which is incredibly affordable. I tend to shop for only about 3 days at a time because the shops are so close by and I know I'm always going to find really fresh produce.
Josh and I have started eating a lot more mushrooms in China just because of the sheer variety, but also the price is unbelievable. I mean, take a look at these oyster mushrooms. Like, this giant, beautiful tray is 6 RMB, almost 7 RMB. But then if you come over here, you've got even more. Look at the variety of these. And then like mixed ones, fresh lines main. To be honest, some of the varieties I've never heard of before, so we're learning.
Once you've picked out all your fresh vegetables, it's finally time to weigh it all up. It was time to say hello to the lady at the fresh dumpling stand. Honestly, this is one of our favorite little spots in the whole supermarket. The lady here is always so friendly. Every single time we come, she greets us with the biggest smile and she's genuinely so patient with us trying to speak Mandarin. She also encourages us to practice our Chinese with her even when we get it completely wrong, which happens a lot. She always recommends different types of dumplings or wontons for us to try and then always asks us about it next time we see her. This is where things get really dangerous, in the best way possible. This section is packed with pre-cooked dishes, snacks, takeaway options, and honestly is the perfect place if you want to try something new every time you come. You've got everything from fresh steamed buns to dumplings, noodles, marinated meats, and then it gets a little bit more adventurous. There are things here I'd never really expect to see in a supermarket back home, like crickets and worms and different types of preserved snacks, and all kinds of local delicacies, which you can try if you're feeling up to it. But onto the last two sections, as Josh was saying, we probably need to get out of here before we end up buying way too many delicious dishes. So I quickly made my way to the bakery, although to be honest, this probably doesn't help the situation at all.
The store always smells so amazing. It's the bakery, and there's always something freshly made that is coming out of the kitchen. It's incredible. So, I mean, there's some really odd and interesting flavors as well when it comes to croissant looking types of pastries. I mean, this croissant has a sausage in it. There's some with like pork floss and corn floss.
We regrouped in the dairy section, but honestly, this is probably one of the hardest sections to always navigate. There are so many different options here, and it takes a bit of time to figure out which ones are actually what you're looking for, especially when you're trying to find real fresh milk and not the long life or heavily processed ones. And then you've also got to check labels carefully, making sure that there are no unnecessary additives, no gelatine, and just keeping it as clean and simple as possible. We grabbed a few beers for the weekend. I've said goodbye to wine for now since it's way more expensive here than back home, but eventually I'd love to get into exploring wine properly here because I've heard so many amazing things about wine being produced in China. And just like that, it's time to check out and see what the total comes up to. The total came out to 367 RMB, which we honestly thought was really good considering everything we picked up. We then headed home, and here's a little breakdown of everything we got.
That's pretty much our shop. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. So definitely comment what you thought was a little bit odd, unique, or just different to what you have back home in the comment section. But we'll catch you in the next video. Bye!